Hey Soul Warriors, it is Tara and Wolf from Soul Intentions. Glad you could join us today. Today's Facebook Live, we are talking about up-leveling your self-worth. We talked about a couple weeks ago how the self-help industry is doing you a huge disservice and constantly putting out messages that you're broken or what is wrong with you and how you can fix it. Our message, you're worthy.
You're whole.
You're whole. You stand solid in your power. You can do anything. All those tools are awesome if you approach them from a place of wholeness. They can help you. But if you approach them from the broken place that they're putting out to you constantly, you're never going to get there.
Right.
So we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We gave you 3 steps. They were the 3 R's. Reset, remember, and relax. A lot of you have been using it over the last 2 weeks. We spoke to a few of you about it in free soul sessions this week, and some of our other regular clients, we've been using it for months now.
And those were some pretty powerful soul sessions. You know, if you get a chance and you just want to like brainstorm or really tap into some stuff, I really recommend you take us up on that offer.
Yeah, they're
and
free, no pitch.
There's no pitch. You know, really, it's so incredibly wonderful to watch when that light bulb goes on in a way that you've been waiting for so long. And we got to witness that a couple of times, and it was just the most amazing thing. And I just, you know, it's one of the reasons why we do what we do.
Absolutely.
Because we like to see when you guys remember who you are, what you're about, and how you're going to bring it out into the world. It's exciting. It's really super exciting to watch.
When somebody's eyes light up and that just light energy just floods through them, it floods through us too. And we just, I was just in awe this week. Deep gratitude to all of you who took that invitation and showed up fully present and ready to shift, because you did some amazing work, and I can't wait to see all the things that kind of sort out from all of that work.
So if you haven't taken up the opportunity, please do.
Definitely. All right, so back to up-leveling your self-worth. The main thing we see people measuring their self-worth is by what they think others are reflecting back at them, or commonly by comparing yourself to other people around you. And you think like, this one has amazing talent singing, and this one is amazing at building things, and I have no worth. So when we start to think about self-worth, the main thing we're looking at is, what's wrong with me? Again, that old self-help message. So flip that around and look at things from what's right about you. How can you like take a moment right now and think of a way that you can assert and experience your self-worth? What does that look like? Excuse me. So it could be as simple as you smile at people when you're walking down the street. I mean, that has a lot of worth. I know people whose lives have been saved by that. So you might think it's just something silly and stupid, like I have a big heart. Not silly, not stupid at all. Like if that's your superpower, awesome. So we want you to think about those moments and really connect with those moments, so that you're creating a habit and reprogramming your subconscious to think about your worthiness instead of your brokenness.
Yeah, because you really want to focus at this point in your life that you're whole, everything is okay in your world, and you're just looking to move it in a direction that you've always wanted it to be. So you just, when you get to that place and we tap into that, it's like you've got to feel this. It's hard to even put into words, because the feeling is so immense. It's just like, it's huge. It's just like, it's amazing when you work from that place where you're full, you're whole, you're kicking ass, things are good, and that's where we want you to come from, because it's there. You know, too many people, too many things have told you that it hasn't been there, or that you lost it, or it's always been there. You haven't lost it. You just need to tap into it.
Yeah, it's just under the surface there, and we can help you uncover it if you don't know how to uncover it yourself. So we're going to get into the 3 R's again. First one is reset. And we told you that this was all about the pause. A good way to remember this is ASAP. I have to do this ASAP. We get into this mode. It's like frantic energy mode. ASAP to us means always stop and pause. Because people will stop like, okay, pause. I just stopped for a second. And then they continue right back on that hamster wheel. So we want you to stop and really pause. So what we've been seeing with our clients and the people who have been trying this is they don't know what pause really is or looks like or how to make that a regular habit. So one quick exercise that we can do is I want you to start with your brain, that monkey brain that's constantly, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're all the crap that your head is saying to you that keeps you in that selfless, worthless place. So I want you to really tap in and listen. I know it kind of sucks. Maybe it's good. Maybe you have good self-talk. Hopefully that'd be, or a mixture of both. But listen to all those voices for just a second and hear what the mind is really trying to tell you. And if you're getting a lot of nothing, think of a situation that's going on. Maybe something that you're working on right now, a part of a job or a relationship, or and it doesn't have to be anything bad. If you're working on creating a new business or writing a new song or whatever it is, think of that situation and then ask your head, ask your mind what it thinks about that. So just take a second, think of a situation, and see what your mind is saying. And whatever you're hearing might be really useful to you right now, or it might be a lot of just stop. I've heard this 8 million times. So here's what you do. You're still pausing. You just listened. Pay mad respect to your mind for sharing with you, even if it was garbledy-gook that you don't want to hear. I respect you. I honor you. Thank you, mind. And then drop the energy down. Feel everything drop down to here, to your heart chakra, your heart center. And then same situation, or if it's just free for all, whatever it has to say to you, ask the heart what the heart has to say for you, to you, and listen to the heart. All right, now we're going to thank the heart, pay mad respect to it for sharing with you. One more time, we're going to drop the energy down to your gut, to that sense of intuition. Like that's the center of where your soul resides. Tap down into that soul center, that gut feeling, and see what it has to say to you. Now I'm sure you got 3 probably pretty different scenarios in each level. Couple things to remember. The head and the heart, they're like a barometer, they're like tools. Like a weatherman uses like Doppler and all the other instruments he uses or she uses to try to figure out the weather. I don't know if that's a good, I don't know. Weathermen lately have been kind of off, at least in our region. So I don't know if that's a really good example. But it
is kind of an example.
Predicting something unpredictable.
Yeah, because we kind of do that to ourselves too.
We do.
So.
Yeah, so we like to use our head and our heart just as kind of tools to measure where we're at, like what we're going on emotionally, what's going on thought-wise, because we know that all feeds into our beliefs. But then really dropping down into that soul and listening to that gut intuition is gold. If all 3 were telling you the same message, kudos to you because you're already living really whole. That's not necessarily what whole looks like. Some of us, it's like 3 different opinions, like in a council, but they're all like a wisdom council getting along and contributing their information. So again, this is know for yourself. It can look different for all of you. Right. So that's a great way to pause, is listen, respect the head so that chatter has a place to go, a place to get out, a place to be heard. We all want to be heard and seen and witnessed. Same with all the different parts of you. Lilyface says, my mind says stop and listen, my heart says thank you, and my gut says remember this. Awesome. Total wisdom council moment where all your pieces and parts are like, you can tell the type of work that you've been doing, that they're all working together and gelling as like one team for you. That's another part of self-worth. We see people showing up as, I show up as this person at work, and I show up as this person to my family, and I show up as this person with my partner. And then we wonder why we can't, feel full and like nobody really knows us, because we're picking and choosing when we bring out the fullness of who we are. So the more you can like integrate all those pieces of you into one solid being, freaking that's amazing, that's awesome, that's like the secret sauce.
I mean, and that's a good example, what you got, that your heart was saying thank you and your gut was telling you to remember. There is this thing that when your heart is talking to you, there is this feeling that is, again, that it's whole, and it is key to really, really remember that and stay there. And the mind likes to do a lot of different things, and the fact that it's telling you to stop and listen, do that, because the heart is obviously loving it, and your gut is saying, yeah, this is exactly where you need to be, where you want to be, and what works for you. And that's just, that's juice right there, juice.
That's the medicine, as they say. So always, ASAP, always stop and pause. So that's a quick way, and you can run through that really quick in your brain. Nobody even needs to, or in your body, nobody even needs to know you're doing it. Check in with all three parts. Make a decision, usually, hopefully either integrated or from your soul self. Next one is remember. Remember. So remembering who you are, remembering you in your wholeness. The easiest way, and this is something you can do easily all the time, picture yourself as a superhero. We had everybody posting GIFs a few weeks ago of you and your power. Picture you as that person. And then right now, unless you're driving and can't take your hands off the wheel,
strike that pose.
Whatever that superhero pose is for you.
And really own it.
Own it. Like let's do it. Ready?
Yeah. Ready.
I don't know what mine looks like. I have to think of it. Mine's different every freaking time. And that's okay too. Yours leans back.
Yeah,
Mine's
I got this.
Mine's like this. And really feel that and hold that and feel that power, whatever it is to you, if it's, however it works. And like I said, mine shifts every time. Because it depends on how I'm letting that energy and everything flow through me, and we're always constantly changing and evolving. So our pose will change and evolve. So you can use my trick that I talked about 2 weeks ago. Every time you go into the bathroom after you wash your hands, strike your superhero pose before you walk back out into the world. So you're walking out in your power. Every morning when your feet hit the floor, when you step out of bed, strike the superhero pose. When you get out of the shower, in front of the mirror, so you can now visually see yourself doing it. Your body remembers that, and that's why we like to do experiential things. So if you see us talking about, this is the second time we've talked about this topic in 2 weeks, it's because you need to hear and experience things multiple times for them to hit you in different ways, and repetition gets it into the subconscious so it becomes true and real for you. So we'll try to layer on different ways you can do this over and over again until it's just part of you. And then you can start sharing how it works for you in your own ways, so we can all continue to help each other rise up in the group.
Because with practice it becomes habit, and then you'll get to the point where it's automatically you'll find yourself putting yourself into your power pose. It doesn't have to be that something's wrong or that something's going on. It's just hey, this feels really cool, because a lot of the times we're in a space or an environment that being in our power is frowned upon. And that's one of the things that we can't let happen anymore. We need to be powerful people. We need to let our shine glow, and glow really bright. So, when the more and more you do this, like Tara says, it's layers upon layers of you really getting into that power position every single moment of your life. And it will be so natural. And the reason why it will be natural, because it's you.
Exactly.
You know?
And I just realized I'm doing one of my old ones now, or one of my many in my repertoire of superhero poses. But you can't see me, but I have my hands on my hips, and I'm like standing up really straight, and almost like a Wonder Woman pose.
Yeah, yep.
So when you're talking to somebody, if you're starting to like in your head compare yourself to somebody, or not feeling like wanted or respected by the other person, or whatever's going through your head and your heart that's not quite driving with you, shift your posture, shift your pose. They don't have to notice. It'll just look like, you're just resting your hand on your, to go like this, they might feel a little threatened. But that's why you come up with different poses, so that you can shift.
And they can be really subtle. Like one thing that comes to mind as far as kind of putting yourself in your power place, and I did it really in a very subtle way. I was talking to someone, and I usually like to face people and look at them straight in the face and into their eyes. That's usually how it works for me. And this person was just not vibing. It wasn't working for me. So instead of in my position that I'm used to with dealing with someone, I actually went sideways.
Yeah.
So that whatever the person was saying to me was kind of going past me. I'm still paying attention. This was my subtle power shift. Because I wasn't about to get into this whatever this person wanted to do. I'm like, okay, no, I'm in control. This is me. This is my good space. I'm gonna lean in this way.
That's a perfect example.
So,
because you don't want to do Wonder Woman pose when you're not vibing with somebody, because that's like a ram, trying to go at another person. You constantly, a lot of people think of being in their power as like, I'm going to stand here strong and
confrontational.
It doesn't have
to be that way. Again, just moving a different way, facing.
Because energy-wise, it's bouncing back and forth between you.
Exactly.
Bouncing back. And this is why people have such amazing conversations when they're sitting in the car driving.
Yeah, because
they're both
facing
the same way. Their energy's heading the same way, so you're more aligned and more in sync. That's why sometimes you'll have great conversations with people on a train or a bus, or if you're sitting on a park bench. Hard conversations, if you have to have those, that's an awesome way to do it. Yeah. And if it ever gets tense, like she said, just turn slightly, and the energy's just shifting right by you.
And turning is you keep it in your mind, turning is your power position. Because whatever's happening with this person, it has nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
So let it fly by you. So it could be so many different things for people.
Yeah, don't take that crap in if it's not feeling good for you.
Yeah, because I've tried taking, back in the day, my power position. It's like, I'm stepping in, I'm coming in front of you. Yep. And it never ended well.
No, that's overpowering instead of being in your power.
And I'd rather be in a position where I feel powerful, and whatever is happening with the person in front of me, I'm just playing the witness to that.
Exactly.
Because I start to remember that I'm whole, and that really has nothing to do with me. Because a lot of the times that things happen, the conflict or whatever's going on, really truly has nothing to do with you most of the time.
No, it's their shit.
I know that it sounds a little repetitive, and I say this a lot, but it's the truth. From my own experiences, I've realized that a lot of the confrontations that have come into my space had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be the person there. And so you got to remember that. And I also get curious. But that's a whole different session on.
And a lot of those hot and heavy, a fight with your partner, or stuff with your boss. A lot of that is differing beliefs, we find, because they have different thoughts, different perspectives. So if things aren't matching up for you, and you're just on totally different pages, it's truly because you're totally on different pages. It's not because they don't want to honor you, they don't want to respect you. They can't see your perspective right now, because people hardline into their beliefs, because that keeps them safe, that keeps them feeling certain. And we know it can be difficult to shift a belief unless you're doing a lot of work around shifting your self-talk, shifting experiences around you. It's difficult sometimes, depending on how deeply ingrained the belief is and what type of work you're putting behind it.
Right.
So if you're in any of these big power struggles, your belief systems are just on different pages, and it feels like a personal attack on you. But it's really not. It's the person trying to defend themselves from personal attack on themselves. And they might not see it that way. But that's really what it boils down to, is two people trying to stay in their power really strong. Right. So it's not quite aligning.
Yeah. And when that happens, a subtle shift in your body is going to help. It's going to help a lot, because it starts to shift the energy on some level.
Yeah. And if it's after the fact, this is when we're jumping back into the changing your story. Instead of like, he, she did this to me, said that to me, disrespected me, like, wow, he or she was really deep in their belief at that point. I was really deep in mine. And 99% of the time, they are blind to your perspective as you are, usually to theirs if they're that differing. So that's really a place to try to bless and release a lot of that stuff, because it's not against you personally, even though I know it hurts and it feels like it is. It's not.
Yeah.
So forgiving yourself, forgiving that other person is really key.
Definitely.
That'll help keep you in your power as well. All right, so number 3, relax. So what we see this look like for a lot of people is they're like, oh yeah, okay, I'm feeling kind of off or frustrated or flustered. Wolf and Tara say reset, remember, relax. So okay, so I'm gonna pause. Okay, I did that. All right, I'm gonna remember who I am. Yep, I'm strong and powerful. And now I'm gonna relax. So I'm gonna go grab a wine, and I'm gonna go chill out. And then they don't understand why shit's not working for them. So if wine is relaxing for you, by all means have a glass or two or whatever. But when we're talking about relax, we're like really talking about your body feeling it, and not you trying to numb yourself out. Or distraction can be a great tool, but hopefully when you get to this place where you're in your power more often and this is easier for you, relaxing truly looks like relaxing.
Yeah.
So a quick and easy way, mentioned it 2 weeks ago, jumping up and down, relaxing, shaking everything out. Yeah. Looks kind of crazy. Do it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Shake it out.
Just anything physical. Dance. Do something.
Oh, you said dance.
I did.
You did. All right.
See?
That was really goofy, but it was fun.
It was fun. And it shifts the energy. It gets you more relaxed. It gets you more comfortable in your body. And things just kind of flow.
So if it takes calling a friend or just putting on a goofy video, whatever makes you laugh, whatever makes you chill.
Yeah.
Add a glass of wine if it works for you. You'd add beer.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, whatever works for you guys, but like that relaxed part needs to come into play.
Yeah. So you think about what reset means to you, what a pause means to you. I mean, if it's breathing, like whatever it is, think about what being in your power is. Another remember piece with being in your power. Take a second and think of a time when you were certain. You were certain of yourself. You were certain in your decision. You just felt really safe, strong, and certain. Because we all have a moment like that. At least one. Everyone has one.
Yeah.
Even if you have to go back to childhood. Think of that moment and then really feel into it. Remember how you felt. Remember what was going on around you. That's another quick way. Also, that's pausing. So you can pause and get into your power in one quick step if you need to do that. Have that, whatever that memory is, on like speed dial.
Yeah.
So when you get off and you need to do this really quick, okay, I'm remembering when I'm certain, and your body's like, oh, okay, I know what that's like to be certain and be more powerful. And then that energy starts coming out of you, and you'll present more that way. And then just relax.
This is going to happen quick. The more and more you do it, the quicker it's going to happen. That people won't even know what you're doing.
Exactly.
They won't know that you're doing the 3 R's there. They'll just like they'll have a moment of like, what's possibly happening here? But you're doing it so incredibly quickly that you're putting yourself in that place very, very quickly, and then you're just allowing things to happen. And when we're saying allowing things to happen, we're not saying, if you're in danger, just kind of like, we're not saying that. If you need to react to something, you do. But we're just saying, like, when you're in a place in your life that that something is happening, and you just need the energy to shift, you need to allow it to shift, and then and in order for that to happen, you can't be rigid with it.
No,
it doesn't matter. You can read every book on the planet. If you're resisting, that's not going to happen. You have to relax and allow it.
Exactly. And if you're coming from a fear place, that's that place of resistance. Mm-hmm. And fear is that danger piece. So if a lion is chasing you, or an 18-wheeler is barreling at the side of your car, great time to just react. Great time to be afraid. Mm-hmm. Great time to just do something quick. Yeah. Don't stop and pause. But normal everyday life, like we all have, again, think of an example of when you've come through a really freaking hard time in your life. Mm-hmm. And when you've gotten to a place where you're okay again. I mean, doing, grief and transitioning or whatever it is, you've done all that and you've come to a place where you're good. Everybody's done this probably multiple times in their life. Mm-hmm. So we all have proof to ourselves that it sucks getting through some of this shit, but we get through it. Yeah. And we do it in spades, and we come out 1,000,000 times better the other side. Mm-hmm. So, like, tell fear, I just hit the camera. Tell fear, to go to hell, mm-hmm. because fear is only a defense mechanism to keep you safe and alive, not to keep you safe in a bubble, because that's not safe, that's not living.
No, that's not living at all.
Yeah, so just... reset, remember, relax. It's really that simple. Mm-hmm. And these were fun exercises just to play around with them a little bit, but to show you how easy they can be.
Yeah, go crazy. Explore different things with it. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. Whatever works. Like we've always said, there isn't one thing that's going to shift this. It's you. You're the one that's going to decide if dancing is what's going to do it for you. If meditation or the glass of wine or the beer or whatever. You get to explore all these things. But the more you explore, the more you're doing it, the easier, faster it's going to happen.
Exactly.
So when something starts to happen, good or bad, you're automatically doing the 3 R's.
Definitely.
Automatically.
Definitely. And if you need more, we have a class.
Yes.
That we did, I don't even know, last year, the year before. It was our very first class we put out. Yeah. It's the epic battle between heart and mind. So if you need more, there's well over an hour of us talking through different scenarios, different exercises, different ways to get you mm-hmm. into this soul-led power place. Mm-hmm. There's an exercise on pausing, on playing the witness. There's a whole journey exercise with listening to the heart and the mind and the soul. All video, audio, there's PDFs. It's super cool. It's reduced down to $27 because it was our first one, mm-hmm. and you can tell our editing skills suck and our original camera sucked and our lighting wasn't the greatest.
It was one of those moments where you have a t-shirt, I am not a professional.
I am not a professional.
It was one of those moments, but...
all of our wisdom, all of ourselves is in it.
The content is amazing. It's gonna be useful. Excuse me, if you apply it. I mean, that's the bottom line. There's a lot of good content there.
We've had people use it really successful. Yeah. Transitioning to new fields, transitioning out of jobs that weren't serving them, mm-hmm. Transitioning away from friendships that weren't serving them, healing and dealing after a breakup. Lots of different scenarios. People have used this really successfully. So we'll put a link below if you're interested. If not, that's cool too. Mm-hmm. We just want to offer you things that might help. Again, it's only $27. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. So just reset, remember, relax. We love you. Mm-hmm. You've got this. We believe in you. We are here to support you. Mm-hmm. Hit us up, whatever you need. We are here.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just another level of, finding, remembering that wholeness that you have. Because that is the bottom line here for Soul Intentions and us. And you. And you guys, we want you guys to really jump in, man. Jump into your wholeness, jump into your power, jump into all those things. Because there really isn't a book or anything else out there that's going to tell you how to be you.
No, You have to go out and experience it, and
Yeah.
you're missing so much of life when you're not allowing yourself to
Right.
do that. So, like,
Rock it out.
We want to impress upon you how much life there is to live and how fun and amazing it can be because we've done it, and we want that for you.
Absolutely. And if we get to witness it in the process,
That's even better.
you know, that was one of those moments. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
all right, guys.
All
I
right.
hope that this works for you in the level in which we know that it will. Just put it to practice, and we'll see you guys real soon.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.